Skid Row, a hellscape in downtown Los Angeles,
A deadly police shooting in LA's Skid Row.
where more than 5,000 homeless people crowd the streets, tents line the sidewalks, addiction and mental illness run wild, and crime is at an all-time high. In Skid Row, survival is the only goal.
I've been coming to LA my entire life. I've never seen streets that look like this.
Today, I want to document the shocking reality in Skid Row, but also shine a light on these people's dignity, because homelessness is not exactly what you think it is. Skid Row is a 50-block area in downtown Los Angeles, holding one of the largest populations of homeless people in the United States. With over 5,000 residents living in encampments, many of them are addicted to drugs, but the lack of mental health services leaves many without the support they need, putting them in a cycle of adversity that is hard to break. I heard about one organization that provides food, medical care, and shelter to vulnerable people in Skid Row. It's called Midnight Mission, and I'm about to meet up with Dante and Heidi, two volunteers who were drawn to work here because they both know firsthand what it is like to be without a home.
Really what our goal is to go out of business, right? If we can just get everybody housed and where they need to be, we could shut the doors, that would be the best thing.
Together, Dante and Heidi are gonna show me around the most dangerous streets in America.
So most people, when they hear the word Skid Row, they immediately think like danger.
Yes.
What's your response to that?
Well, everywhere's dangerous.
Sure, I agree with that.
So of course it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But not as dangerous as it's put out to be.
Right.
The violence is rising because we're getting so many other people from different places and they're bringing different energy. Attacks, like people being hit with poles or stabbings and things like this. It's just starting to rise up. And then in the summertime too, usually around the summer, people get hotter, frustrated and things happen. Hey, you all right, bro? Oh, he breathing. We'll do wellness checks and they'll be laying like that, dying.
You've seen just dead people
Of course.
often?
Of course, often. My second year working here, every other week I came to work, someone was OD'd in a tent somewhere. Or when we go around and do wellness checks in the morning, wake people up, we would have 2 or 3 people died. And then when it got cold, we had a couple people die from freezing.
Freezing?
Yeah, out
More
here.
people die of hypothermia on the streets of Los Angeles than in New York. Because New York has the right to shelter, so they'll have shelter, but here,
Yeah, I guess
people
you're
don't
right.
think about it.
So each tent is a home for one person, or?
Or sometimes 2 people or just a person and their dog.
You can see tents and tents and tents here on the sidewalks. Homes for the people. Guess it's a bit more shelter than just a tent.
Yeah.
If it rains or something.
Well, for the rain, they're real resourceful though. You see the tarps?
Yeah.
That's for the rain.
So crazy walking around these streets. Just a lot of simulation everywhere. People coming up to you. I'm literally shocked right now. I don't know what to think.
You want to talk to us for a second? About your experiences being down here on Skid Row?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Janice, #1 Skid Row dancer.
#1 Skid Row dancer.
She really is.
dancer,
She is
yeah.
the best dancer.
Number one.
#1. You're number 2?
Really? What is it like to live in Skid Row?
It's cool. We get everything down here. We get a blessing every day.
So have you always been a dancer, or is it something that you just learned while you?
I grew up dancing like Michael Jackson them. I was at home watching them, and I be out at home practicing with them. They getting down, I'm getting down with them. Hey.
What's the best and the worst thing about living here?
The best thing, I just love downtown, because I am #1.
And what's the worst thing about living here?
When they get to fighting and stuff, somebody hating on somebody, for what, I don't know. I seen another man take his life right there at that building right there. He jumped. I was right there by the midnight. He was way at the top. How he got up there in that building, look how it's blocked off. That was strange to me, for real.
I think it's time we should see some of your dance moves. Okay.
So wanna get on, you look like a sage. Straight from the Middle East, feel like a rocket. Give me a bit, I'm a rocket. Feeling like Rocky, fit in my pockets. Bipolar man, humble and cocky. They try to copy, give me the money. I need my dreams like it's broccoli. I ain't trying to board on the
It's an everyday occurrence.
They get a call, the fire department here in Skid Row, a call every 7 seconds.
True.
I mean, we've heard a bunch of ambulances so far, but damn, that's crazy.
Every 7 seconds.
You see here, this is the police station.
Yeah, I was gonna
They
ask
won't
about
even
the
make
police.
them.
So this is a police station.
This is
right
the
here.
police station. There was a guy that was shot in the head right here,
Like right here, in front of the police
right
station.
here in front of the police station.
And then they don't do anything?
And they didn't catch the guy. They just shot. It started to even be harder to get the police to come out. They asked so many questions before even.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we got a guy that was assaulted. Hey, is he bleeding? How old is he? Can he talk? Can he stand? It's like, hey, just come out and come see about it, yeah.
How are you?
My best friend, God bless you.
God bless you too, good
How
to
you
see you.
doing?
Bless you.
God bless you too.
All right,
Hi.
What's going on over here?
probably a
Looks like-
testing site.
Diabetes testing. They got some
Oh.
COVID tests there.
It's open for anyone?
So this is,
worries.
LA Christian Health Center. You can
And
come in
they
too.
just roll up on a
Free.
corner and everybody can come up? And for food, I'm guessing people make food, they dumpster dive. What's the food situation like?
The missions make it where they don't have to
Of
dumpster
course.
dive, but a lot of them still do. I guess when you get used to something or accustomed to something, that's just what they'll do. Like this
Right, yeah.
gentleman here,
It's so crazy that right there you just see these huge banks, like right here.
right here from Skid Row.
Yeah, it's such a contrast.
Did you know that LA County has the largest population of poverty, homelessness, and also the largest population of billionaires?
Really? Not much in between.
Not
No.
much, they're cutting out middle class. They're
Yeah,
cutting
the
that
middle,
out.
the middle class is
Yeah, it's done. It's almost done
diminishing,
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Skid Row is an extreme example of America's shrinking middle class. Over the past few decades, wages have stagnated while the cost of living has soared. The gap between rich and poor widens, pushing many into financial turmoil and even homelessness. In fact, the share of adults who live in middle-class households fell from 61 to 50% in the last 50 years. Sky-high housing prices, crippling healthcare costs, and mounting student debt push more people into poverty, making places like Skid Row symbols of a larger economic struggle.
So you can just set up a tent anywhere. There's no like
We're not supposed to set the tents up until like I think about 6 o'clock, but
nobody's stopping them.
they don't have enough manpower, I don't believe, to
Right.
enforce, and it would probably start a riot.
Is it growing or shrinking?
Growing,
It's growing.
growing.
If you ask any homeless person in LA, if they don't live here, like what's the reputation of Skid Row?
Dangerous, drugs, the lowest of the low.
What percentage of people out here are on drugs every day?
A lot of it stems from another problem, you know, most of the time. Mental health,
Yeah.
lost a house, or family put you out, and then being here, you're gonna try something, and then
Sure.
I think that's where the stuck process comes. A lot of people come down here not intending on staying here, you know?
Yeah. What happens here at nighttime? What's the vibe like on the streets?
It's a different vibe nighttime. Everybody's up. That's when a lot of people are using or seeking to use or going to get money to use, you know, so.
Sure.
Good morning.
How you doing, Queen? All right. How you fellas doing? How you guys doing?
Good morning.
She said they took my tent, I think is what she said.
Yeah.
The police took her tent? I don't know.
Oh yeah, see this is what they do. They come every other Wednesday
Yeah.
and they'll clean up the streets.
Who's they?
The city, the police will come out with the city.
And they'll just remove people's tents?
They'll just remove the
That's
tents.
not cool, that's their home.
Yeah.
You'll hear of a sweep. This is a sweep, because literally they're sweeping.
And it sucks because it's a double-edged sword. Of course you want businesses clean,
Yeah.
but then you want to let people that already don't have homes somewhere to sleep warm. So
sure.
human life is human life, you know, so.
Sweeps on Skid Row are city-led cleanups where officials clear out homeless camps. Residents must pack up and move immediately, often losing their belongings. Though meant to improve safety, sweeps are controversial. Critics say they just shift the problem around without fixing it. Instead of helping, these sweeps often make life harder for the homeless, pushing them further into despair.
How you doing, Texas?
Hi,
What's up, Pekka?
how are you?
They're coming on this side after?
Can we help her?
We could.
Yeah,
Let's help her.
Let's help her.
Tanaya,
Can we help you?
Can we help you?
now we're gonna help you move the tent.
You sure?
All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, nice seeing you. You gotta move your stuff too? You got a minute, you got a second, you wanna talk to me for a second?
What's going on? You're tired. How would you describe it out here to someone who has no idea what Skid Row is? Tough question.
Man, the boss make it real tough for y'all. In order to keep a job, you gotta get your knees dirty and kiss.
What's the best and the worst part about living here?
The best part about it, you ain't gotta kiss your dog or nothing behind. The worst part about it is like me. I'm 70 years old, I've been out here since 2004, back and forth to prison. Prison is much better than this.
Prison's much better than this? You get respect in prison,
You get more,
but nobody gives you respect here.
you get robbed. I'm homeless, I don't have anything. The clothes I got today, I got yesterday. This was clean.
Have you made any friends or people that you would call friends? Or are they just kind of acquaintances?
Friends are expensive.
Thanks for chatting with me, I appreciate it.
Come back to the mission, you know you need anything.
I do, right now.
All right, well come on back up there. You know the clothes are already out right now.
I want to say, mind your mother and father, but they could be off the chain too.
Appreciate it, man. It seems to be 80 to 90% male on these streets.
Yeah, it's more male.
Are females, do they hang out with other females or do they kind of mix in?
They kind of mix in. With the women down here, that's a large spectrum. Some of them are with guys that they don't particularly even like, but it's for protection.
Got it.
You know?
Yeah.
Because down here, as just a woman alone,
Yeah.
not a good scene, especially after hours. A lot of things go on in these tents that the cops are just passing by. You would never know what's going on. You got a lot of predators down here too. So you get young women that come down here and hook up with a guy that, you know, promised them something,
Right.
clothes or something, and a downward spiral, so yeah.
So when you see people like this, you try to move them or you just let them sleep?
No, I let him sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was having a seizure and someone decided to jump on top of her and rape her. And while that was happening, the cops came. And while the cops came to try to help her, somebody had a knife and tried to knife the cops.
Yeah, walk behind me.
On this street corner?
Right here.
Oh my God, and she's
Right
still here?
Yeah, and she's still here. Since you're talking about women here on the streets, that's what happened.
Yeah, they're just seen as targets.
How you doing, ma'am?
Good morning.
How are you? You look really nice.
Pretty. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Would you be interested in sharing your story?
Due to a circumstance of me creating incredibly like valuable intellectual property as a career, they've been attempting to murder me over it. I could use any safety you guys could offer.
Have you ever heard of the Midnight Mission?
Yeah, I don't want to do any of that stuff
None.
because the guy who was my payee for my federal disability shut it off illegally and was monopolizing the apartment. So
In a rough space.
They've basically been trying to pawn me off as a dumb drug addict. So, nice to see you.
It's nice to see you.
We're gonna stay living.
Yes, yes.
So this Parker's cooler. I was going to Home Depot. These things are awesome.
That is pretty
And they have
cool.
ones that have like blocks. I do my best to have a good time no matter what's going on, you know?
Yep, for sure. So the Midnight Mission is a shelter, a couple blocks. It's actually on 6th and San Pedro.
Okay.
But we give out meals, 3 meals a day, and we have
yeah.
showers and restrooms, and we do have women's shelter. It doesn't cost anything. Everything that we do is completely free.
Well,
So-
they've tried to hurt me more than once. I get a little nervous about that.
I understand.
That's why I'm like, you know what, they made a lot of money and they exploited me and made me look like something I'm not.
Well, if you decide you want to, we got guys like Dante and Michael over there. They're our security, so we have security 24/7.
Okay.
So you would be safe.
Well, do they do that there? Do they electrocute people and shit?
No.
It is heartbreaking that some residents refuse help due to past mistreatment. It is true that mental health issues on Skid Row are a crisis within a crisis. Over 1/3 of residents suffer from severe illnesses like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. The area is a mental health desert with services stretched too thin to meet overwhelming demand. Untreated conditions worsen in the chaotic environment. Without stable housing, regular treatment is nearly impossible. Outreach programs and clinics struggle to cope, leading to public breakdowns, self-harm, and violent outbursts. The situation shows a desperate need for comprehensive mental health care and housing solutions, highlighting severe societal neglect.
I got some good people here. They wanted to see if you wanted to just
Good morning.
share like 2 minutes of
How you doing?
what it's been like to be on Skid Row, be down here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I guess Big Russ is your name? That's what they call you?
Yeah, Russell, Big Russ.
What's the best and the worst part about living in Skid Row?
The best part is so freedom, no expectations, no responsibilities. Some of us don't handle responsibility very well, which is me. And then the worst thing is any second, you could lose your life, over something as simple as somebody wanting your shoes.
How do you deal with those situations that are life and death?
The best thing you can possibly do is turn around and walk away. Any form of confrontation at all can lead to you losing your life.
Have you found many friends here?
I know this sounds bad, but different streets are owned by different, cliques or different, they like to call themselves a family, which in a sense they are, They protect each other. Like before I went into where I'm staying now, I lived on Wall Street.
You did?
The next street over, which is one of the worst streets, like Crocker. If you're not family, they let you know immediately that you're there only as a customer.
Interesting. Before you were living on Wall and here, what were you doing?
I used to be a coder.
Do you still have a passion for that, or do you think you could still code someday?
Yeah, I can still code, but the thing is, where I have a problem with, responsibility, either people depending on me or me, depending on them, it forms a lot of anxiety. And that's why living on the street or living in a shelter or whatever is a little more easier for me.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
I should have my own apartment, you know, which is coming within 60 to 90 days. And it'll be Section 8 housing.
Good for you.
It's not bad. 5 years from now, I should have a non-demanding job, one that doesn't require like a quota or a time-based, you know.
I hope you can find a job like that.
So do I. It was nice meeting you guys. Thank you.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
If you could say one message to everybody in the world, what would you tell them?
Hope is the single most powerful force in the universe. You know, love comes and goes, but hope, every single thing in the world has hope. I hope I get a new job. I hope I get a better pay. I hope I get a daughter. You know, hope is the single most driving force in the universe. Never give up hope.
Very powerful.
You made me cry. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'll take a hug. Thank
Right on, I love
you so
hugs.
much.
I'm gonna give you a hug too if you love
Very
hugs.
self-aware, Russ.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, big Russ. I'll see you.
You guys have a good day. Okay?
Can I pet your dog? Oh, she's trying to bite me. What is this area?
These are like the older cats. They don't keep up a lot of trouble. They all hang together
Yeah.
and usually just, you see how mellow they are.
Yeah, this is like the chillest zone
Yeah,
I've
it's like
seen
the
so
chill.
far.
Yeah.
It's
It's
got
always like
a
this.
bunch of world flags and playing some cool
They're
music.
usually mellow.
Yeah.
It's a population of everybody that comes right here. He wants to know. He said they talked to you before.
How you doing? Have we met? I don't believe so. But can we meet?
Hi, William. I'm Heidi.
So you've seen a transformation here. Is it more safe or more dangerous now than before?
More dangerous.
More dangerous. Did you ever almost lose your life?
I've been shot. I went hunting back home
Where did you get shot?
in my leg
In your leg? So how long have you been living in this tent right here, in this spot?
about 2 years. I'm trying to get housing.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from a lot of people. It's hard to get housing. You think you'll get it soon?
I hope so.
What's your take on the current situation of Skid Row?
It's not good. They get all this money to do things for us, but we don't see none of it. It's going in their pockets. That's all. My wife and I was down here, and we both came down here. Our wheelchairs broke down because I use a motorized wheelchair. We went to the mission, and they wouldn't give us no bedding, nowhere to sleep because of our wheelchairs. Said they didn't have no elevator. But come to find out, they did have an elevator.
So why would they not give it to you?
I don't know.
Where's your wife now?
She was in a nursing home. I don't know where she is now.
Have you seen her lately? No? Do you mind if I look inside your tent? Oh, wow.
It's messy right now because I'm unpacking it. I had to pack up because we had to leave.
You got a lot of stuff in here.
It looks like a lot of stuff.
If you could say one message to everybody in the world, what would you tell them?
Stay prayed up. Jesus is on his way back.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Here's his dog right here, crossing the cage. Holy shit. That's a mean boy right there.
Nobody but his owner.
No, I'm scared of that dog.
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
I can't.
I'm 32, so I mean,
Yeah.
can't even imagine.
The last thing he said was, "I'm not crazy yet." How do you do that?
I'm telling you, you should let it
Where are you
go.
going?
That picture that you just
I'm
took,
not recording anything. Where are you?
like I said, suing everybody.
That was interesting. What's going on? Kind of walking through a busy street here.
I know, right?
A lot of action around here. Can you share more about your own personal story? Like, you're from Compton. What was it like growing up there?
Well, for me, it was like I told you, it's dangerous everywhere.
Sure.
So of course there was danger, gang violence, but it was actually a beautiful place to grow up. My uncle Stan used to work here, but before he worked here, when I was younger, he dealt with drugs, and we used to bring food here to the Midnight Mission to him. He called me one day. I had just left my other job, and I was actually looking for work, and he asked me, did I want to work here? And at first, my first thing I was like, nah, I'm not. Not going on a Skid Row. But then actually when I came down here, this is right where I needed to be. I'm a people's person.
Yeah, you are.
I like to talk to people and I like to help, so.
So you just felt connection here. Yeah.
Right off back.
Heidi, what's your story? What's your connection to Skid Row?
7 years ago, I came out just on vacation in California, and we came down to tour the Midnight Mission, and I fell in love with the place. I lived in Pennsylvania, And so it took me 2 years, but then we sold everything we owned and moved out here so that I could possibly work for the Midnight Mission.
You have such a kind heart to do that. I mean, it's really incredible. And you've been here for so long, so clearly you found a lot of joy and happiness and connection out here.
I love the people. I love their stories. I feel like it's my mission to let them know that they matter, that their lives matter. And if I can be a voice to let other people know that homelessness isn't what you think it is, and that these are human beings, like somebody's mom or brother or sister. And I think
Really
once
nice.
Skid Row gets in your heart, like you can't get it out. Like it's there,
Yeah,
that's it.
I can feel that from both of you. We're in the middle of downtown LA, so there's obviously things adjacent to Skid Row that other people would visit. Is there friction?
So the experience for people coming down here just to like go Mama Tacos or something like that, I don't think they have that much trouble.
How long has Skid Row been around?
Well, the Midnight Mission has been around for 110 years, and we're the longest standing human services provider. Like
So
we've never.
Skid Row was here when the Midnight Mission started.
Skid Row was here.
So it's over 100 years old. What has changed about Skid Row?
More women.
More women?
There used to be no tents.
Where would they
Yeah.
sleep before?
It really wasn't sleeping. People were either down here selling drugs or doing them. But there were no like tents and laying. This was just an area where you would come do it and then they would disperse it. I remember when I was younger coming down here, there weren't any tents. Like people just laid out on the streets I was seeing now. Nah, it wasn't tents.
I will say we've walked a lot of the streets already, and I don't really feel like I'm in danger. Like I'm seeing things, of course, but I'm not being threatened. I'm not being attacked.
This is what I'm saying.
And people, like everyone I know, that would say, "I'm not going there. I'm not going there." Yeah.
You have to be here
Yeah.
to understand.
If people do work, what are their typical jobs here in Skid Row?
Well, depending on, a lot of them go into cleaning. A place called Chrysler's here, where they hire a lot. Most of the homeless, if they do get jobs, they'll go there.
And that's another misnomer. Like people think, these people down here, they don't want to work or they don't have a job. And it's not true. A lot of people work. And that's why we have a mail center so they can have an address in order for, a job application. It's not just about getting a job.
See, they're cleaning the streets behind me. That's their job. It's nice to see people working. I like that. Are people like selling stuff too, like on the street?
Well, they try to make their money that way. Some of them will have, chips or whatever they can get their hands on. Some of them go to the missions and get like tennis shoes and stuff like that.
Right.
And then they'll come out here and try to sell it to make some extra money or whatever.
It's cool. I like to see all the flags here.
Yeah. This here is the Joshua House. A lot of them don't have insurance to get their teeth pulled, STDs, whatever.
Right.
Everybody doesn't have insurance. The Joshua House will take. Before the pandemic, we would charge phones. But I believe they can go to the bin or the refresh center.
Got it.
And they can charge their phone, wash their clothes and things like that.
What's that?
Are you working Section 8?
No, I work at the Midnight Mission.
Okay.
Hi.
How you doing?
I think that guy asked me if I was with Section 8. So they want Section 8 vouchers, because if you have a voucher, then when housing comes available, you can get housing. The problem is people have vouchers and they've been waiting for a year. Like people will be in our crisis and bridge center with a voucher. They are approved for housing, but there is no housing. A lot of people were housed last year, but the rate of people that are becoming homeless is greater than the rate that they can house
so they can't
people.
catch up.
Yeah.
Meeting people on Skid Row is eye-opening and heart-wrenching. Hearing their stories of struggle and survival hits me hard. I feel a mix of sadness and determination, knowing how much must be done to help these people. As I continue to walk around, I notice a blind man approaching, tapping his walking stick. He is kind enough to answer a few questions.
What made you want to come to Skid Row?
I don't have nobody to help me, and I came here because there was help in Skid Row.
Do you like the community here?
I don't like how the police manage over here and how the city manage over here, because the city helps but doesn't manage.
What's the drug problem like on Skid Row?
So are many.
Everyone's taking drugs.
Drugs, there's alcohol, there's marijuana, it's crystal, it's cocaine, it's heroin.
As a blind man, I imagine it's more difficult to be here because there's more danger.
Yeah, you see, like the city make a stupid thing to build that kind of stuff over there in the street. We don't need that kind of shit around here. I have better imagination than the city. I fail over there because that's stupid things over there.
What do you want the government to do?
To fix the streets, the money that they spend in that sidewalks over there, they can fix the sidewalks. We need a kind of token in the lights, like in Santa Monica and different cities, they got all that kind of stuff.
Hey, thanks a lot for sharing your story, man. I wish you the best of luck. Thanks a lot, man.
Right.
Appreciate it. Muchísimas gracias.
Yeah.
Good morning.
How are you? Do you like living here?
Whatever. Me gusta todo.
You like the people?
Right here, good for drugs, you know.
What kind of drugs? Smoking weed, meth? Meth.
Ajá.
Y todos los días fumar.
Sí, todos los
Sí.
días.
What's your job? You working?
Whatever. Demolición, pintura, construcción.
Sure.
All right, Jerry.
Nice to meet you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Yeah, of course. So here there's a bunch of clothes that they're giving out, people lining up and taking whatever you want.
And this is all vegan food. Chef, he worked at the Midnight Mission, and his dream is to bring vegan, nutritious food to the people of Skid Row. And so that's what he does. Like, that's his.
Do you think they know it's nutritious?
Maybe, maybe not.
If people watching this video want to help the community here, what can they do?
I would say whatever it is, if you wanted to bring clothes, shoes, or even just come down here and motivate people talking, this works too. You wouldn't believe how many people here. It's like talking to people, how we're going around just talking, bro. But for the most part, I would say this type of stuff, coming down, interacting, giving them something that they're actually going to use. The things that most people that we take for granted, socks and stuff, and
shoes,
they take.
yeah, man.
Yeah. Down here, shoes, like the guy Russell told you, you can die for a pair of shoes down here. That's how much is needed. So you wouldn't believe how many people that drive past the people and be like, oh, hey, what's up, King? How you doing? Dirty homeless people. And know these are people with stories like you're talking to so many
That's
people.
my mission for coming here. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are people.
They are
They
people.
have hopes and dreams, and you know,
they want the same thing we want.
Exactly.
It means a lot. I appreciate you even
No,
doing.
of course, man. Thanks
shining
for,
the light,
for
you know?
showing me around.
Yeah.
I mean, coming by myself, I don't know. It'd be a little intimidating to walk alone. but
Exactly. Just
you
because
know the streets and
the people,
the
exactly.
culture. Yeah.
Spending a day in Skid Row, talking to residents and witnessing the dire conditions firsthand, I am left with a profound sense of urgency. I want to use my platform to show you what it's like because we can no longer turn a blind eye to this crisis. This experience has shown me the deep flaws in our system. It's not just about providing shelter, it's about addressing mental health, addiction, and the systemic issues that perpetuate homelessness. We need to implement policies that treat the homeless with dignity and respect. Community involvement is crucial. Volunteer, donate, advocate for change, and support organizations like Midnight Mission who work around the clock to make a difference. Skid Row is a reminder of our collective responsibility. It's time to turn empathy into action and work towards a future where everyone has a safe place to call home. Let's not just hope for change, let's make it happen. Thank you for watching.